Hello and welcome to another video in the tutorial series for WebArt system by Textalk Media. In this video we're going to talk about exports. How can you export, produce outputs to your customers? So if we look at one issue here, we're in the Gulf times, and on top here we have a line where everything is green. All the parts are extracted, we have refined the material, and we are done. We are satisfied with the result. You see here that you have 2 exports set up on this title, but we can have many more. So for each title you can set up a set of exports that you can use in order to export to your customers. So let's start exporting here. We can export to the EPUB export and the Prendly export. The Prendly is a specific format for the Prendly system. So if we start these exports, we get the confirm dialog, and then they are in a queue. So these will start as soon as there are resources in the system to actually run them. Now you can see that one of them has changed status to running. So this export here, the EPUB running export, is running, doing the export. It will send that export to an FTP site in this case, and there can also be validation built into this export stage. So depending on what kind of validation the customer requires, there can be very easy rules that validates that every article has a header, for instance. But there can be also the more sophisticated rules that the customer requires. So when it's done, we see that these have changed to exported. Everything is sent to the customer, and you can also see that this button has changed from export to re-export. So if the customer is not satisfied with the result, or you are not satisfied with the result and you need to do some changes to this issue, then you can go in, do the changes, refine the material again, and then click this button here to re-export the data to the customers. The WebArt system is built in a way that we can actually add more functions to this export process quite easily, and we can create a lot of different formats for the exports. So for instance, here we see 2 examples, the EPUB export and the Prendly export, and Prendly is a specific system that you can export to. You can also do DTBook exports, and we have a few other formats that are built in and we can use out of the box. Usually the customer requires something custom built, and we have built a lot of different exports in formats that are HTML based, XML based, JSON based. We usually can send image data in this format, and we also can give you all the text that we have extracted together with the position where that text was extracted from. We also have position information about where all the image areas are, and you can also get all the separate images already cut out for you in the export. So after we have created all this content, we can package it into a separate format like a zip file or an EPUB file or any format that the customer requires. This is what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope that you learned something, and remember, we are here to make you more productive.